Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Wednesday morning. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Again, going to do a little bit of a deep dive here into the forecast, what we can expect over the next several days. Again, a look at kind of what's going on locally, regionally, and across the country when it comes to the weather. Things fairly quiet for us. Again, it's not a whole lot to talk about today, but we are going to have some up and down temperatures as we head over the course of the next several days and into the upcoming weekend. Some days feeling awfully October-like and like it should be for late October. And a couple days where it's going to be feeling a little bit warmer than it should, kind of like what we had yesterday. Starting off, though, again, in Lincoln and across much of the state, average high temperatures today, low 60s for highs, upper 30s for lows. And again, I think this morning, we're certainly going to be above average, but this afternoon, I think we're going to be pretty close to where we should be for this time of year. So we take a look at your weather headlines. Again, a fairly seasonal day today. Again, we'll see highs in the 60s after we saw a warm day yesterday, but then tomorrow, we see those warm conditions return. Also be a bit on the breezy side as well. Some gusts up to 30, maybe 35 miles an hour. Temperatures back into the 70s to the low 80s for many of us. But then we look for the cooler temperatures to again return as we head at least into Friday and the first half of the weekend. It does look like we'll see those above average temperatures back, though, as we head into the day on Sunday. In terms of moisture, again, there's a few sprinkles out there early this morning. Otherwise, things are fairly quiet. We'll keep an eye on a chance for some maybe spotty showers on Thursday. Will be a chance for some severe weather, at least in the neighborhood, I think, on Thursday, but better chances going to be probably off to our south and off to our east. And then we'll keep an eye on a little bit more active weather pattern. Looks like it could be trying to get going as we head at least into the week next week. So we'll talk about all that here as we head over the course of the next several minutes. Right now in Lincoln, again, you can see just a few minutes past the top of the hour, dealing with some clouds here in Lincoln, and there's, again, a few spotty showers, a sprinkle or two out and about across the southeastern corner of the state. Not much of that, though, is reaching the ground just yet. 50 right now at the studio, 51 at the Lincoln Airport, a light north wind at around 6 miles an hour, and dew points currently sitting in the lower 40s for us. So, again, and you can, again, see a little bit of the cloud cover out there right now. Temperatures across the Lincoln Metro right around 50 degrees, give or take a degree here or there, but most of the area, again, right at 50 degrees this morning here in Lincoln. Across the state, you can see much cooler off to our west, 20s on a few spots, and then 30s across much of the Panhandle and the Sandhills. Otherwise, right now, low 40s to low 50s from west to east across much of the 10-11 coverage area. So, again, mild for some to start our Wednesday, cooler for others. Winds fairly light, high pressure sliding through the region, so you can kind of see that clockwise rotation of the winds. A little bit more of the winds a little bit more out of the north for the eastern sections of the state, a little bit more out of the south for the western sections of the state, but again, fairly light, and expecting fairly light and variable winds as we head through the day today. Satellite and radar picture, again, it looks a lot busier than it actually is. Again, a lot of radar returns showing up, especially across parts of Lincoln up towards Omaha, but again, not much of this is actually reaching the ground, but again, won't rule out maybe a few sprinkles as we head over the course of the next hour as that activity tries to work its way through. If you look at the visual satellite imagery, you can see for most of the state, again, it's mainly sunny, but again, we are dealing with just kind of that band of clouds that's stretching across the parts of eastern Nebraska. If I put the radar or the visible loop into motion here, again, you can see some of that early this morning just drifting southward through the area. It'll continue to drift through the area, and I think by this afternoon, I think by later this morning, but certainly by the afternoon, we should be looking at skies becoming mainly sunny across the area. So if we zoom out, look at a regional view, things are pretty quiet, not a whole lot going on. And if you zoom out even further and look at a national view, again, things are pretty quiet. There's really not a whole lot going on. There's a few showers again and sprinkles across eastern Nebraska into southern Iowa and northern Missouri. A few showers across parts of the Pacific Northwest. A little bit of activity across parts of southeastern Canada. But again, overall, things are fairly quiet across much of the country. And you can see that also holds true with our weather alerts. There's really not a whole lot going on. Has some dense fog advisories down across parts of southeast Texas. But again, things generally quiet across much of the country. Check out Skycast as we head through the day today. Again, the clouds we have this morning will gradually give way to mainly sunny skies as we head into the afternoon with those light and variable winds. Pretty cool, comfortable, quiet conditions as we head through Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. But then as we head Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to start to see a cold front approach from the west. Winds are going to pick up on the back end of that high pressure system that's going to slide through the area. So again, we're going to see that pressure gradient squeeze a little bit with the approaching cold front from the west. High pressure shifting off to our east, so that's going to lead to the wind picking up as we head through the day on Thursday, especially out of the south. We are going to see a little bit more cloud cover as that front begins to move through, and again, we're going to try and maybe squeeze out a few showers across parts of the state, but most of us likely going to stay dry. But as we head towards Thursday, late afternoon into the evening, we are going to watch for some showers and thunderstorms to develop along that front. Most of that activity looks like it's going to be likely out of our area. You can see by Thursday 10, again, most of that activity stretching across parts of eastern Kansas into western Missouri, as well as across parts of southern Iowa. I think far southeastern Nebraska might see a shower or thunderstorm Thursday late afternoon through the evening time frame, but it's going to be one of those deals. We see this a lot where it's going to be as that front is really pushing through. So a lot of it's going to be the timing. And again, I feel like more often than not, most of the time, that front gets pretty well east of the area before we really starts to see anything pop up and develop. So I think chances for showers and thunderstorms are there. I think it's pretty low, though, probably 20% at best for most locations in southeastern Nebraska for the day on Thursday. Better chances, again, if you're off to our south or off to our east, to see some of that shower and thunderstorm activity with that front. And then behind that front, again, we see quiet conditions again as we head into the day on Friday. Again, also will be cooler again as we head into the day on Friday with plenty of sunshine, I think, across the state to round out the work week. We do have the threat, again, on Thursday for a few stronger storms. There is a marginal risk for severe weather across extreme southeastern Nebraska into northeastern Kansas. Again, hail and wind would be the main threats with that, to go along with potentially some heavy rain with a very low-end threat for any tornadoes. Again, most of that risk is across parts of Iowa into northern Missouri. Wouldn't be surprised to see that extended a little bit further southeastward, or southwestward, that is, down towards the Wichita area as we get a little bit closer. But again, something to keep an eye on. Most of us, though, don't really have too much to worry about in terms of any inclement weather for the day on Thursday. 7-day precipitation potential looks like this. Again, a lot of this is going to be with that threat for some showers and thunderstorms for the day on Thursday. Otherwise, there's really not a whole lot of chances for moisture as we head over the course of the next week. So again, it looks like we're going to continue to see generally dry conditions as we head over the course of the next week, and that would basically get us almost to the end of October. In terms of high temperatures today, feeling much more seasonal. Again, I mentioned it, but average high in Lincoln today is 63, so even 66 is still a few degrees above average, but certainly a lot closer to where we should be. So mid-60s across the state for highs on Wednesday, a few 70s in the far west. Low temperatures tonight, staying above average. Again, we should generally be in the upper 30s across the state, but we're looking at mid-40s across the state as we head into our Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, again, going to be warmer, and it's going to be breezy. We'll see high temperatures back into the 70s in Lincoln, 78. So close to 80 degrees, I think, for the day on Thursday. And then you can see in the west, with that front moving through a little bit sooner, it will be cooler with highs in the low to mid-60s. So anywhere from the low 60s to near 80, I think, for the day on Thursday as that front moves through the state through the day. Friday morning, lows ranging anywhere from the upper 20s to the upper 40s from west to east across the state. Warmest readings in the southeast, 46 in Lincoln, 41 in Grand Island, 34 in North Platte for Friday morning. And then cooler again as we head into Friday afternoon with highs similar to what we'll see today, generally in the mid-60s across the state. Saturday morning, a little bit more seasonal, mid-30s across the state, so chilly to start our day on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, we see temperatures, again, pretty close to where we should be in the mid-60s across the state, though we'll start to see those things warm back up as we head into the day on Sunday. You can see on the 7-day forecast here for Lincoln, back to the mid-70s on Sunday, low to mid-80s on Monday, and then we kind of begin to fall back down or trend back downward as we head through the middle part of the work week next week, and that's when I think we'll start to see more chances for rain. So again, you can see we're kind of up and down and all over the place as we head over the course of the next week. Highs anywhere from the mid-60s to the low to mid-80s, lows anywhere from the mid-30s to the low to mid 60s. You can see those lows early next week our lows early next week are going to be warmer or close to being warmer than our normal high temperatures for this time of year. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state. Again, you can see one cooler day, one warmer day, 2 cooler days, a couple warmer days, and then cooler weather. It looks like through most of the second half of the week next week, and that's again when we could see a little bit more active weather as you look at the chances for moisture as we head over the course of the next 10 days. You can see very small chances today, Thursday, dry Friday through the weekend. Looks like dry to start the week next week, but then maybe a little bit more unsettled, maybe a little bit more active as we head through the middle and end of the week next week. Still plenty of time for that forecast to change and become a little bit clearer. So again, obviously don't write it in stone yet that it's going to rain all week next week, but it looks like there will at least be chances for moisture as we head through much of the week next week. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This takes us October 30th through the first few days of November. And again, still much of the same of what we've seen over the past 8, 9, 10 weeks, and that's better than average odds at seeing above average temperatures across much of the state and across much of the region. The good news is, again, it does look like, again, the signs for the active weather are there. According to the Climate Prediction Center, better than average odds for wetter than normal conditions across much of the state and across much of the Central Plains through that same time frame, October 30th through November 5th. So things are quiet today. They're going to be cooler today, a little bit more comfortable, warm and breezy tomorrow, cooler into the weekend. Again, we'll keep an eye on a few sprinkles possibly early this morning. Could see a shower or two, maybe an isolated thunderstorm Thursday afternoon into the evening, but again, generally quiet as we head over the next couple days and hopefully turning a little bit busier as we head into the week next week. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching as always. Again, not a whole lot to talk about for us today, but again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But again, hopefully we'll see some more rain here, especially as we head into the week next week. It was nice to see the rain earlier this week and would definitely like to see some more. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching as always. Again, keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all of your latest news, weather, and sports. And until next time, hope everyone has a nice Wednesday.